If you are looking for the broadcast of Bankside School Volleyball, we should be underway in about 14 minutes. JV got out a little bit late, so expect a first serve of about 6:15 after we handle public address duties and get you the starting lineups and tonight's national anthem. There we go. Welcome again to another edition of Banks Braves High School Volleyball. The Braves coming off of a 5-set come-from-behind victory at home on Monday night over Oregon Episcopal. Losing the first 2 sets 22-25, winning the 3rd set by the opposite score 25-22. Winning the 4th set 26-24 and finishing off the Aardvarks 15-9 in the 5th set. Looking at the starters tonight for Seaside, number 3, senior setter, opposite hitter. She is a senior, Vanessa Schern. Number 5, Natalie Couch, senior defensive specialist. Number 6, Kendall Heacock, senior middle blocker. Number 8, Alyssa Chen, senior outside hitter. Number 9, Stella Reeves, junior outside hitter. Number 10, senior middle blocker, Aubrey Taylor, and the extra player, the libero, senior number 12, Kiana Reyes. The Seagulls are coached by Lori Hudson, assisted by Tia Abbey and Zach Hudson. For the Braves, starting tonight, number 3, Kendall Shook will get the start for the first time this season, a sophomore defensive specialist. Number 4, outside hitter, senior Jocelyn Janicek. Number 6, McKenna King, junior right side hitter. Number 7, Ava Bogroff, a senior defensive specialist. Number 11, junior outside hitter Jordan Maller, and sophomore setter number 12, Morgan McCraw. The Braves are coached by Diana Herb. No assistants this year, although there were a couple of coaches on the JV staff that are helping with warm-ups. After tonight's broadcast, our next broadcast will be right back at it tomorrow night. Football opener as the Braves, off of their semifinalist loss to Kennedy, who will be a league foe that's starting this season, will host a former league foe, Astoria, the second of a home-and-home situation after beating Astoria on the road last year, 28-0. Cade Long, the starting quarterback for this season. Lane Gilbert will be his backup. Last season, Lane was the number 3 quarterback on the depth chart. Ashton Crossan, who started the season at quarterback the first 3 games of last season, will now be moved back to running back. Was the better running quarterback last season when compared with Christian Lyda, but Christian, the much better arm. Christian started the latter 2/3 of the season and then broke his arm or wrist on the opening drive of the 13-6 loss to Kennedy. Banks outscored their opponents last season 211-15, so just a dominating performance on both sides of the football. Have lost some key players, but again, several key players back, like Max Walker, starting tight end, had kind of the season-saving play of the year for the Braves with the interception on a halfback pass late in the 10-7 quarterfinal win over Santiam Christian with about 15 seconds left as the Eagles were driving inside the Braves 20 for what would have been a go-ahead and likely a winning touchdown with the clock under 30 seconds. We're going to go ahead and switch duties now over to our public address job for this evening, and we'll be back with the first serve in just a moment. And we're back as the performance of tonight's national anthem and the introduction of tonight's rosters for both teams has just been completed. Again, I want to thank all of our fine sponsors. Jason Bond Remodeling, Jim's Market, Sarah Hesselman, Premier Property Group, Legacy Roofing, our newest sponsor, Banks Post Newspaper, Christy Van Meter at Union Home Mortgage, LaHaye's Custom Embroidery of Hillsborough, Main Street Pizza of Banks, Scoggins Creek Coffee with 2 locations in Gaston, and Yamhill Carlton Specialty Screen Printing of Yamhill, GorgeNet Internet Service Provider, providing internet coverage for Vernonia and the surrounding area. Want a Credit Union in likeness of you, Westside Mobile Media, and Oregon National Guard. We gave you the starters for both teams earlier tonight, taking a look at the uniform reset. Columbia, or Seaside's school colors, Columbia blue, kind of a light blue, red and white, although their uniforms for the second time, or second straight match, will not match their school colors. Gray long sleeve uniform shirts for Seaside with red and white stripe off the right shoulder, except for the libero wearing red. Braves in their home white uniforms, navy blue numerals, navy blue shorts. And first serve from the Braves is returned into the back line, would have gone long, but Ava Bogroff made contact. One nothing early Seaside, and again, after the Seagulls win the serve, couple of Braves players look at each other and the ball hits the floor. Again, no communication. Seaside with a 2-0 lead in the first set. Seaside now with the first 3 points of the match. Serving for Seaside, number 9, Stella Reeves. A couple of steps behind the service line. Stationary on her serve. Kendall Shook out of the back row near side. Set back across by Jordan Mallard. Diving effort from Reeves. Comes up from her serving position and goes underneath the net. That's the first point of the match for the Braves, trailing 3-1. Coming in for Seaside defensively, number 1, senior defensive specialist Isabella Josephson. Serving specialist Marissa Herbert comes in replacing Janicek. Also coming out the number 3, Kendall Shook. Lauren Jansen, the freshman who got the start on Monday's match, comes in. Herbert from right underneath where the basketball hoop would be. Right between the blocks, getting near side official writing something down, waiting for the signal to begin her serve. Down the near side, picked up by Seaside. Returned by Aubrey Taylor into the back row, Herbert. Returned back across by Evie. Back across by Mallard, but long. And side out back to Seaside, leading 4-1. And Herbert's going to stand to serve despite the side out from her last attempt and comes up just short. That time, no, they gave the point to Banks, not Seaside, on that last off that last serve. So it's four to 2, Seaside. Herbert off the return. McCraw off the top of the net. Jansen the return far back corner. Back across from Chen for the kill. Into the back row, and Seaside calling for a touch, but they're not going to get it. It's now 4-3. Seaside with a 1-point lead after they scored the first 3 points of the match. The serve from Mallard is ruled an ace. Chen let it go, and Mallard ties the score at 4 off of her serve. Again, the serve from Jordan Mallard returned by Chen. Dug out by Herbert. McCraw to Mallard, back row, near side. Dug out by Seaside. Again, they set up Chen, far side, blocked. And Seaside fans wanted a double hit, but it's returned by Banks. Dug out, diving to the floor is Mallard, center of the back row. McCraw sets up Evie, diving to the floor. Seaside keeps it alive after the attempt from Natalie Couch. King gets it back from McCraw, and they're going to get a hitting error on Banks. Seaside regains the lead at 5-4. Coming in for the goals, number 7, Christine Sheldon, senior opposite hitter. Vanessa Schern will serve. Sheldon, the outside hitter, not the opposite hitter. And momentary delay as Lori Hudson saying something to Steve Smith, the near side official, about her team's rotation. A couple of players both swung on it and missed. It's ruled long, and as is many times the case, back line judges are usually have to resort to using parents or fans, and it looked in to begin with, and definitely looked like it could have been touched by a Banks player, but it's ruled long, and we're tied at 5. Far side, returned by Hecox, dug out by Herbert. King sets it up for Evie, returned by the Braves. Chasing it down near side. Center of the court is Vanessa Schern, and it's returned into the top of the net. 6-5, Banks, I believe, with their first lead early in the first set. Side hand serve from McKenna King into the back row to the libero, Reyes. Seaside sets up Hecox far side. King far side to Evie, center of the front row, dug out by Chen. Back to the center of the front row, for blocked by Banks. Off the kill attempt into the back row long from Chen. Banks with a 7-5 lead. Again, King, the side hand delivery with her left hand. Back to Chen, near side from Seaside on the return. Maller near side back row. King sets it up for Evie, and we're going to get a hitting error on the Braves. Double hit, 7-6. Seaside back within 1. Substitution coming in for Seaside, number 9, Stella Reeves, junior outside hitter. Chen will serve just inside the left low block. Steps up to the service line. Maller tracks it down right side back corner. Chen probably should have let that one go. Seaside tracks it down out of the back row. A couple of Seaside players, Reyes and Chen, come together on the return attempt out of the back row and come up short into the bottom of the net. Banks back to a 2-point lead at 8-6. Huh?
You're on the camera with the cast. You're on the camera, the girls aren't on the camera.
Oh yeah, I can't do video. Volley back and forth between Seaside and Banks. And Banks is going to give up the point now, trailing 8-7. Again, due to NFHS and OSAA obligations, we are unable to bring you live match footage. The serve from Seaside dug out by Janicek. Shook, returned out of the back row by Maller. Schern returned off the top of the net. Janicek gets a hand on it. Shook dives into the student section, comes up short, and we're tied at 8. Yeah. Serve from Seaside, number 6, Kendall Hecox. Returned by Shook off the side of her hand, comes up well short. Seaside now with a 9-8 lead. Sir? Sir? I'm not allowed to stream live video because of OSAA.
She just told me.
And Seaside now with a 10-8 lead as one of the Braves players goes into the bottom row of the student section on the southwest corner of the gym. Banks is to our right on the west end of the court. Seaside to the left side. And returned by Janicek. Back row, Hecox, dumped over by Schern. Battle at the net, won by the Braves. And we're going to get a hitting error on Seaside at the net, 10-9. Again, first set at Banks High School. 4A Seaside and 3A Banks Braves. The serve from Bogroff, dug out by the Seagulls. And coming up with the return, Aubrey Taylor ruled just long. Again, the kill that looked inside the line, but I think Banks got another break. Tied at 10. Set up back to Seaside, leading 11-10. Natalie Couch. Trying to figure out where she wants to serve from. Takes a spot just above, one spot above the left low block. Returned by the Braves. Dug out by Seaside, setting it up for Natalie Couch. Down the near back corner, ruled in this time. Seaside now with a 12-10 lead off the return that lands in the near back corner. Couch is positioned stationary in the same spot from her previous serve. King to Shook out of the back row, gets it across. Setting it up for Shern, dug out by Shook. And King and Bogroff, again, no communication. King backed off, Bogroff wouldn't take it. And just before it hits the floor, they make an attempt at it too late. And it's now 13-10 Seaside. The serve from Couch. Far side, diving late is Bogroff. It's now 14-10 in favor of the Seagulls. Natalie Couch holding serve. Probably the shortest player for either side. Right hand serve. Janicek out of the center of the back row. And coming up short, Mackenzie Donnelly, far side front row. 15-10 into the net by the Braves. Banks had a 10-8 lead a moment ago. Janicek, a nice job by Shook to track it down and get it back into play. Braves come up with the return. Seaside sets it up for Reeves, far side. Diving effort from Janicek. Gets her hands on it and it goes into the Braves bench. 16-10, Seaside on an 8-0 run. Again, the serve from Couch. Janicek, center of the back row. King comes to get it to Shook. Return long by a good 6 inches or so. And Seaside in control. We have a Banks timeout. Late in the first set, it's now Seaside 17, Banks 10. Seaside has now extended their run to 9 straight points. We'll take a 30-second break and be back after this from our presenting sponsor, Jason Bond Remodeling.
Want to give your kitchen or bath a fresh new look? Jason Bond Remodeling has over 20 years experience fabricating and installing stone countertops and can upgrade your home with the countertops of your dreams without the dreamy price tag. They pride themselves on quality and customer satisfaction. They also offer cabinet installation and will do their best to beat any bid by 10%. Based in Washington County and will service most Portland area locations. For quality kitchen and bath remodels, call Jason Bond Remodeling at 503-430-0145.
And we're back. Seaside holding serve. Natalie Couch for the Seagulls. Down the near side, Janicek may have been wide, but able to keep it in play right back in the lap of Mallory, able to pop it up. King, and Braves are going to get too many hits. 18-10, Seaside on a 10-0 run. And coming into the Braves, Morgan McCraw replacing Mackenzie Donnelly. Again, Natalie Couch now gets the whistle to resume play. Her serve, King pops it up to Shook. Returned by Bogroff. Dug out by Reeves for Seaside. Returned by the goals, and we're going to get a hitting error on the Braves. 19-10. Banks not being able to find anything to get any kind of momentum. 19-10, Seaside with a long side out. Maller back sets to Shook, returned by Bogroff, dug out by Reeves for Seaside. Back to Reeves near side. Bogroff and Shook come together. Right side of right high post area of the free throw line and come up short. 20-10, Seaside with 12 straight points. Couch. Center coming up to get it is King. Goes into the scorers table, and it's an ace for Couch, 21-10. And I think Natalie Couch just ran out of gas, tossed the ball up and kind of laughed and shook her head no, and officials said, okay, we'll count that as a serve, and they gave it back to Banks. 21-11 on kind of a mercy, ran out of gas type situation. The serve from Banks and the return from Seaside. Banks tries to get it across, and it's going to go out of bounds near the far side net pole front row, and back to Seaside, leading 22-11, doubling up the Braves late in the first set. Serve from Stella Reeves, or from, it is Stella Reeves. McCraw sets up Maller off the top of the net, diving late as Reeves out of the center of the back row. Banks within 10, trailing 22-12, but late in the first set. Herbert will come in to serve. Shook goes out. Reyes, the libero, comes in for the Seagulls. Herbert's serve is low. Dug out by Seaside. Chasing it down is Shern. Returned by Reyes, the libero. King far side to McCraw. Back to King. Blocked. Reyes for Seaside. Shern, far side, blocked again. Returned by Chen. King, far side, sets up Maller, center of the front row. Comes it short into the bottom of the net. 23-12, Seaside back with the side out. Reyes to serve opposite side this time from the now straddling the right side of the key near the block. Maller far side, gets it back from McCraw, dumps it over the top. Chen comes over to recover, and he cocks over the top for the point over the top of Maller, center of the front row, and set point for Seaside up 24-12. Reyes short, digging it out from a knee is Jansen, returned by the Braves. Cracking it down, Churn to Chen. Locked, but out of bounds. Side out back to Banks, trailing 24-13. Oh, I don't think it was blocked. It was off the net stick and went out of bounds. That's the reason why they gave the serve back to Banks. Maller, Reyes gets to it for Seaside. Hecock's far side, too much for Herbert to get there in time. Seaside wins the first set, 25-13. Seaside now up 1-0. We'll take a 2-minute break and be back after this from Jim's Market.
Jim's Market in Banks is an institution serving the community for generations. They're actively involved in events and athletics from the youth league to high school level. Let them serve you with their locally grown fresh produce, fresh bakery items, including custom cakes, and quick hot food from their in-store deli. Jim's Market, conveniently located at the south entrance to Banks.
Same great smile, same great service, but a brand new location and a great new team. Sarah Hesselman Group is still proud to support Banks High School athletics, but has now joined the Premier Property Group real estate team with new offices located in Bethany. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, contact the Sarah Hesselman Group, Sarah at sarahhesselman.com, or call 503-313.
Legacy Roofing can save your home from leaks, mold, and other issues related to an older roof, preventing future roof issues, saving you thousands of dollars. They use only the most trusted materials backed by an excellent warranty that is transferred if you ever sell your home. Legacy is tops in their field, earning the GAF Master Elite certification and the Golden Pledge warranty. For more information or to get a free quote, call 503-357-7663 today.
Same great smile, same great service, but a brand new location and a great new team. Sarah Hesselman Group is still proud to support Banks High School athletics, but has now joined the Premier Property Group real estate team with new offices located in Bethany. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, contact the Sarah Hesselman Group, Sarah at sarahhesselman.com, or call 503-313-0748.
And we're back. Banks losing the first set 25-13 here at home tonight to Seaside. Seaside 0-1 on the season. Banks 1-0, but Seaside a much tougher team than we saw on Monday night from Oregon Episcopal. Still waiting for the start of the second set. I think Seaside trying to figure out their rotation. Reyes will stay in. Couch, who finished off Banks with 17 straight points off of serve, and continues it with a misplay from Mallard down the near side, about 6 feet off the net, right down the line. Seaside with the first point of the second set. Dug off the floor. Herbert returns it. Dumped over, battle at the net, won by Jordan Mallard against Vanessa Stern for Seaside, tied at 1 in the second set. Serve from Morgan McCraw for the Braves, returned by Chen, far side. Oh, nice effort by McCraw, nearly falling into the net to come up with the return. Bogroff to McCraw, back sets it to Janicek, comes up to the center of the line, dumps it over between Reyes and Reeves for Seaside. Banks back with a 2-1 lead in the second set. McCraw from the left low block, short that time, below the white at the top of the net, tied at 2. Reeves, just about center of the key between the low blocks. Shook and hit it right to King. Mallard backed off, and then King again wouldn't take it. Got to be more aggressive on returns. 3-2. Seaside regains the lead. Bogroff misplays it, but Shook tracks it down out of the back row. Returned by Mallard. Reyes pops it up for Seaside. Over to Chen, far side, dumped it over, blocked, and then recovered by King. Returned by Mallard for the Braves, far side. Back to Chen, blocked again. King to Mallard, over the top. Diving to the floor, though, for Seaside is Couch. Returned by Reyes. Shook to Janicek. Returned by Mallard, short, but dug out by Taylor. Reyes on the return for Seaside. Shook is there out of the back row. Bogroff sets up Janicek on the return late. That's going to be wide. Again, communication issues. Janicek and Mallard, I think, out of the center. Seaside back-to-back points. Now leading 4-2, actually 3 straight. Reeves again with the serve low. Shook to King. Set back across by Mallard, center of the Brave side. Set up by Taylor. Blocked by Mallard. The return is out of bounds. Wide to the near side from Seaside. Banks wins the point and gets the side out for Bogroff, trailing 4-3. Substitutions, Herbert, who is actually going to be the one serving. Bogroff holding the ball for her as she comes in. Janicek and Shook come out. Also entering the game besides Herbert is Lauren Jansen. Herbert serve, dug out by Reyes, back row the libero. Chen bumps it over across the net. Mallard far side, working a triangle with King and McCraw. King on the return. Reyes gets it back, gets it across the net for Seaside. McCraw sets up Mallard, dumps it over, and 3 or 4 players for Seaside look at each other. It lands on the floor in the middle, tied at 4. Chen taps her chest and says, "My bad," but it's a point for the Braves. Answering a 3-point run to come back to tie it after trailing 4-2 early in the second set. Dumped over by Aubrey Taylor. McCraw to Mallard, sets it, diving is Reyes. Churn, returned by Chen long, too much, and 5-4. Braves back with a slim lead early in the second set after losing the first 25-13. Serve from Herbert. Back row Reyes. Churn again to Chen. Spins off the block attempt from Mallard. And it's going to hit the floor. Tied at 5. Side out back to the goals. Reyes will come out. Taylor will go back to serve from well outside the left low block near the corner. Bogroff to Jansen on the return. Taylor. Churn sets up Chen. Dug out by Bogroff, diving to the floor. McCraw near side. We're going to get a hitting error on the Braves. 6-5. Seaside back with the lead. Back and forth since it was back and forth early here in the second set. 6-5 Seaside with the lead. Bogroff, Shook tracks it down. Bogroff, nearly able to get it across from well back behind the service line, but it's going to stay with Seaside, now leading 7-5. Neither team has had more than a 2-point lead early in the second set. The serve from Taylor. Bogroff comes center out of the back row, and McCraw takes it away from Jensen and then misplays it behind the bench into the bleachers. 8-5 Seaside. Aubrey Taylor, left corner serve. Bogroff pops it up, gets out of the way, and Herbert unable to get there in time. It hits the floor, and it's 9-5 Seaside. Banks had a 4-2 lead a moment ago, and I think thought we may have a timeout, but Janicek was going to come in, but now Seaside is ready to serve. Maller pops it up, and nice diving effort from Maller after the return from Banks was lobbed across the net. Chen far side, return long, and Banks finally gets the side out, trailing 9-6. Lily Evie will come in to replace Bogroff. Lily Evie, really the only real tall player the Braves have, but even with that, not a lot of size for power, and the serve from the Braves is long, 10-6. Quick side out back to Seaside in a 4-point lead. Lillian Booth is going to come in for the first time tonight, replacing Jordan Maller. Vanessa Schern, her serve is dug out by McCraw. King sets up Evie. Too much for a diving effort from Reyes out of the far back corner for Seaside late. Braves back within 3 at 10-7 in the side out. Serve from King. Chen misplays it, and Seaside is unable to track it down. It goes near the, all the way back near the near side northeast corner of the base basketball end line. 10-8 back-to-back points for the Braves. The serve from King again. Reyes this time gets to it cleanly. Chen into the top of the net for Seaside. Braves continuing their run, 3 straight to pull within 1 at 10-9. Chen discussing something with Maddie Rigi into the match. Again, the serve from King. Chen, near side back corner to Rigi, returned by Schern. Booth. King keeps it off the net, but goes behind the scorer's table about 2 or 3 rows deep. That will end the short run for the Braves. Seaside back up 2 at 11-9. Stella Reeves re-enters the game for the goals. Alyssa Chen will serve for Seaside. Sets up from the low block, walks up towards the net and knocks it long. Service error for Seaside, back to the Braves, trailing 11-10. Herbert comes out. Shook comes in. She'll go back to serve. Outside of the key, the upper edge of the left low block. Her serve is misplayed by Hecox over near the near side net pole, and we're tied at 11. Banks on a 5-1 run. Serve from Shook. Reyes, far side to Reeves, popped up by Booth to Shook just beyond the service line. Returned by King. Reyes for Seaside. Churn sets up Peacocks, dumped it over. And we're going to get Evie's going to be in the net. That'll be a hitting error on the Braves. Side out back to Seaside in a 12-11 lead. Kiana Reyes from the right low block just outside the key. Tosses it high, slaps it with her right hand. Dug out down the line by Shook. Nice job by King to track it down, center of the front row. Returned near side by the Braves. Taylor comes up short into the top of the net. Tied again at 12. Banks could not get past 13 in the first set. Maller and Bogroff enter the game for Booth and Evie. Ava Bogroff steps up to serve just above the second to last spot down the left side of the key, tiptoeing the key. Returned by Seaside, dug out by Janicek off the return from Reeves. Returned by the Braves. Taylor to Churn, dumped over by Taylor. Maller gets a hand on it, but Donnelly diving to the floor comes up short. Seaside back with the lead at 13-12. Rigi will come out, replaced by Natalie Couch. Student section comes alive, trying to, now she just eggs them on as she gets ready to serve. Little gamesmanship while the officials are, Steve Smith is discussing something with Lori Hudson. And as if to say, you don't bother me one bit. Janicek to King, and I think we're going to get a double hit on the Braves. 14-12 in favor of Seaside. Natalie Couch is served just inside the left side of the key. Janicek to King. Too far towards the net for Donnelly. And Seaside now up 3 at 15-12. Banks has got to do something to end the long run of serves for the second time from Natalie Couch. Janicek to King. Maller comes center of the court, or center of the front row late. Returned by Taylor over the top of Maller. 16-12 Seaside. Serve from Couch. Janicek sliding down the near side. Returned by Shook. Taylor over the top of Maller. Braves recover. Returned by Donnelly far side. Chen digs it out. Churn far side to Reeves. Popped up by Bogroff. King to Maller on the return. And Chen comes, Couch comes diving over late. Took it away, but Seaside able to come up with the return. King, Maller, popped up by Couch again. Returned by Seaside. Popped up by Shook. Returned. Couch to Reyes. Return far side. Bogroff to King. Maller sets it up. Chen digs it out back row. Couch tracks it down. Returned by Shern. Shook to Bogroff. Back to Shook. Comes up short. Side serve will stay with Couch. Hard fought point. Both sides will go to Seaside. And McCraw will come in for Banks, replacing Donnelly. 17-12. Seaside with a 5-point lead. Really impressed with Natalie Couch. Again, her serve. Bogroff, far side, coming up center of the Braves side of the court. Mallard returns it down the near side. Seaside's coach calling for an error from Banks. Janicek keeps it in play, returned by Bogroff. Chen. Churn to Reyes on the return long. And 17-13, a little bit better job to finally get the serve back and end the momentum from Seaside. The Banks still trailing by 4 at 17-13 for Morgan McCraw. And Lori Hudson discussing something with Steve Smith, near side net judge. On the left low block, well short from McCraw. 18-13, Seaside by 5. Banks has at least matched their point total of the first set, but having a much tougher time tonight than Monday. Bogroff pops it up and lobs it across the net to Chin. Dumps it back in the face of the Braves front line, and it's 19-13. Serve from Stella Reeves. Near side back corner. Shook. McCraw. Returned by King. Seaside gets it across. Bogroff dives to the floor, far side. King to Maller. Well short into the bottom of the net. 20-13. Just a lot of unforced errors for the Braves. And against a 4A quality team like Seaside, not saying they're a playoff team, but can't have unforced errors like that. And the serve again from Reeves. High into the air from Bogroff. Shook, returned by Janicek, far side back row. Shern pops it up for Chen, far side. Blocked by Maller, but McCraw can't get to it into the student section. 21-13, and we have a timeout, Banks. Seaside on a 9-1 run, if not more. We'll take a 30-second break and be back after this from Christy Van Meter, Union Home Mortgage.
Your local lender, Christy Van Meter at Union Home Mortgage, is here to walk you through every step in purchasing your new home. Christy and her team bring trusted knowledge and years of experience to make your home loan financing process an enjoyable one. If you're in the business or have questions about purchasing or refinancing your home, call Christy Van Meter at Union Home Mortgage, 503-327-5302, or visit uhm.com/kvanmeter. Union Home Mortgage, official sponsor of the PBR. Union Home Mortgage promises cap. Christy Van Meter is licensed in Oregon 1700271. Washington MLO-1700271, and Arizona 1039867. Union Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2229.
And we're back, at least early. I don't think I've seen only two halfway through the second match of the season, but really impressed with Natalie Couch and her serving ability. Finished the first set with at least 17 straight serves, and had a decent service run also a moment ago in this second set. Seaside, this match was tied at 12 in the second set. Seaside at least on a 9-1 run. The serve from Reeves popped up by Maller for the Braves. Returned by King, blocked. King again, diving to the floor. McCraw diving, Bogroff wide, out of bounds, far side, near the back corner, 22-13. Again, Reeves low, but across the net. Shook, near back corner to McCraw. King comes up to get it, returns it wide, near the same spot the last time the Braves returned it, 23-13. And Monday night's match, all four first sets were close either way, with no team winning by more than 3 points. Tonight it's been pretty much all Seaside through the first two. Shern to Chen, far side, over the top of Maller. Maller gets it from McCraw, dumped over. Reyes recovers it for Seaside. Taylor this time dug out by Shook. McCraw sets up Janicek near side to Chen for Seaside. Gets it back from Shern. Far side, blocked by the Braves. Again, returned by Chen. Bogroff tries to go after it with one hand and misplays it into the back wall. Set point for Seaside again with a 24-13 score. Braves looked like they were easily going to get past the 12-point mark was tied at 12, and again, Seaside going on a big run, just like they finished the first set, up 24-13. Bogroff to Shook, returned by Mallard. Reyes digs it out for Seaside, dumped over by Shern for the goals. King sets up Mallard on the return short, into the top of the net. Seaside wins the second set as well, 25-13. And Banks really has to bring their A game now if they even want to have any chance of not even winning the match, just sending it to a fourth set. Trailing 2-0. Seaside now with a 25-13 two-set lead. We'll take another 2-minute break and return after this from LaHaye's Custom Embroidery of Hillsboro.
Proudly serving our neighbors in Washington County since 1946, LaHaye's is your destination for locally made Letterman's jackets, custom embroidery for business apparel or a unique gift, and scouting uniforms and supplies. LaHaye's is on the corner of 3rd and Main in historic downtown Hillsboro. Open Wednesday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday, 10 to 4, and anytime online at lahayes.com. Or call us at 503-648-2341.
Visit Main Street Pizza in Banks, located next to Jim's Market, for the best pizza in Washington County. From loaded hot baked subs to a Main Street special pizza piled high, we will satisfy your pizza cravings. We've been serving and supporting the Banks community since 1986. Open daily at 11 a.m. Call ahead now to place your order at 503-324-5858 or follow us on Facebook to see our daily lunch specials. Mention this radio ad and receive $2 off any Main Street pizza.
Whether it's a steaming hot old-fashioned cup of joe or hot chocolate on a cold winter day, or an ice-cold Italian soda or iced coffee on a hot summer day, any time is a great time to stop by Scoggins Creek Coffee. With 2 locations in Gaston and Yamhill Carlton, their warm and friendly baristas will get you the delicious drink of your choice. Scoggins Creek Coffee, call 503-985-3483, 503-985-3483.
And we're back. Seaside with a dominating 2-set lead over the Braves here at Banks High School by consecutive 25-13 scores. Kind of funny how our second match of the season, every score so far, set score, has been the same through much of the first 2 games. So it was 25-22 the first 3 sets, one way or the other, for Oregon Episcopal and Banks. And here in the second match, it's been Seaside by the same score, 25-13 in each of the first 2 sets. Seaside has come back out on the court and is ready for set number 3. Diana Herb still game planning with her squad in front of the Braves bench. Again, football tomorrow night. Braves will host Foray Astoria. Braves beat Astoria 28-0 and finished undefeated until the state semifinal 13-6 loss to Kennedy of Mount Angel. Located northeast of Salem. Banks will be at Kennedy for a league match in early October, what will likely be the ex facto 3A District 1 title game. Warrenton, I expect, will be a distant third, and then Rainier and Yamhill Carlton will likely battle it out for the 4th playoff spot. The serve from Banks, short to start the 3rd set from Morgan McCraw. Serve from Reeves for Seaside. McCraw sets up King, diving, lunging forward towards the net to try to keep it in play. Around the block, Chen too much for King and Maller. 2-0 Seaside in the third set, continuing where they left off from set number 2. Reeves between the blocks. Popped up by Maller behind her to Bogroff. Near side to King on the return. Coming late, Reyes up towards the front line to Taylor, front line. Diving to the floor, Shook. McCraw keeps it alive, dumped over by Maller. Chen, Reyes, far side, coming over late. Shern on the return for Seaside. McCraw to Bogroff out of the back row. Couch. Return by Seaside by Taylor. Shook, a little bit of a misplay, but Bogroff tracks it down to King. Far side gets it across the net. Shern, near side to Taylor, dug out by Shook. Maller slipped as she tried to dink it over, comes up short, and then tried to play it again, and that's a double hit. It's 3-0 Seaside. 3-0 Seaside. Already at 2-0. Reeves slaps it across low, dug out by Bogroff. McCraw comes all the way over near side. King on the return, short, into the center of the net. Too many unforced errors for the Braves, and it's now 4-0 Seaside, not 26-0 in the third set. That score not even possible in volleyball. Bogroff off the return from Seaside. King keeps it in play, returned by the Braves. Taylor comes over near side, center of the towards the front of the net, and tried to kind of backhand it over and comes up short. That's the first point of the third set for the Braves, trailing 4-1. Marissa Herbert will be the first person in the rotation for the Braves. Her serve is low, dug out by Couch. And Taylor diving to the floor near Reyes, center of the Seaside offense, and coming up short, 4-2, back-to-back points for the Braves. Serve from Herbert, Reyes diving forward, just able to keep it off the floor, returned by Isabella Josephson entering the match. McCraw pulls it back off the net to Maller, sets it across the net. Josephson out of the back row, and Herbert misplays it behind the Braves bench. A short-lived side out of 2 points for the Braves, 5-2. Seaside coming in. Herbert will come out and be replaced by Janasek. Hecox replaces Taylor for the goals. Reyes will serve, wearing the red libero shirt with Columbia blue trim on the sleeves and around the neck. Her serve is short. Five, 3 Seaside. Serve from Maller, back row Reyes. Coming to get it, diving is Shern all the way into the back row, and can't make a decent play on it. 5-4. Maller again holding serve, steps up to the bottom of the left low block. Short is wide. Or I shouldn't say short, low across the net, but wide to the far side. 6-4, side out back to Seaside. Vanessa Shern will serve. Couch will come out. Braves have got to try to make inroads and see if they can maybe get a lead with Couch out of the game. Reyes diving to the floor. Hecox somehow gets it across, and we're going to get Peacocks was under the net, I think. She tried to pull it back, 6-5. Banks back within 1. Booth will come back in for McKenna King. Taylor leaves the contest for Seaside. Reyes working on a wet spot inside the center court circle. Now, we're going to have an official's timeout with some kind of substance on the floor inside the navy blue circle with the Vegas gold arrowhead logo with white trim. Navy blue Banks sidelines and baselines with Banks transparent lettering along each inline. Marissa Herbert comes in with a kind of a chamois type towel, and we should be set to resume play soon. More volleyball at home next week. We'll keep you updated tomorrow night on our next volleyball broadcast. Football tomorrow night. After tomorrow night, 2 back-to-back road games at Tillamook next Friday and then at Rainier to start league play. Booth comes in to serve for the Braves. We're back to resume play. Rigi, Peacocks diving. I think she was behind the net pole and tied at 6. Banks back-to-back points to come back and even the score. Serve from Booth, probably would have gone wide, but Hecox plays it. Reyes returns it for Seaside. Maller out of the back row, and McCraw goes under the net, unable to stay out. Maller touches her chest and says, "My bad." Sit back to a side out for Seaside and a 7-6 lead. Taylor will come in for Josephson. Chen to serve for Banks. Walks up to the line. Right-handed serve. Evie now in the game. Back sets it to Maller. Returned by Janasek near side. Reyes. Churn. Sets it up for Hecox. Too much. Janasek. Maller dives late, so got to be careful. Nearly collides with the corner of the bleachers on the bottom row. 8-6 Seaside. Alyssa Chen, left inside of the key for an ace. 9-6, Maller kind of let it go and then couldn't get there in time. Again, the serve from Chen. Janasek to McCraw. The Evie comes over late, nobody called it. Jansen was right there, and Evie misplays it. 10-6. Seaside with a 4-point lead, and again, starting to exert their dominance like they have the first 2 sets. Maller pops it up far side, gets it back from McCraw, comes back in play. Returned by the Braves, popped up by Rigi. Churn to Chen out of the back row. Maller to McCraw, near side Evie. Jansen on the return. And Seaside can't get there in time. Far side, front row 10-7. Banks trailing by 3. Jansen comes out. Shook will enter the game to serve. Outside the key to the left of the left low block. To our right. On the return, Hecox nearly goes under the net, but nice job to pull it back and come up with the return. Braves get it back across. Hecox, Reeves calling it, blocked by Evie, but out of bounds. McCraw can't get there in time. Back to a 4-point lead for Seaside. 11-7 in the third set, up 2-0. Serve from Hecox. Lobbed off the return from Shook. And on the kill, it's Taylor. 12-7, Seaside. Serve from Hecox. Dug out by Mallard. McCraw returns it on the second set. And no law against that, and catches Seaside by surprise. 12-8, side out back to Banks, but still trailing by 4. Evie will come out. Bogroff goes back to serve. Again, tiptoeing the left side of the key with her left foot. Back heel, touching the spot just above the left low block. Popped up by Chen for Seaside. Shern to Reyes, returned by the goals. Shook. Janasek. Mallard gets it across for Banks. Reyes near side to Shern. To Taylor. Blocked by Mallard. Janasek to McCraw. Back to Janasek on the return. Pushes it across into the back row. Chen. Shern pulls it back off the net. Returned by Reyes far side. Janasek near side to McCraw. Center of the front row. Mallard dumps it over. Dug out by Shern. Reyes sets up Rigi near side. Knocked across by Seaside. Bogroff to McCraw. Mallard on the return. Shern to Reyes for Seaside. To Reeves over the top. No. Comes up just short into the white of the net. 12-9. Nice action that time from both teams. Great volley. 5 to 10 minute point there. 12-9. Seaside still with a 3-point lead. Bogroff will continue her serve. Left-hander delivers to Reyes, back row. Shern to Taylor. Shook, and we're going to get a hitting error on Banks either way. Side out would have gone back to Seaside as Shook dove late as the whistle was blown. 13-9 back to Seaside. And Seaside waiting to get Natalie Couch in the game, or in the match, to replace Rigi. Seaside red numerals on their jerseys, Cardinal red and Columbia blue. Only Columbia blue, though, I've seen on the court is the very small amount of trim on the libero's jersey. White trim on the numerals and red and white stripes just below the shoulder on both sides. Black shorts. Rigi comes out and Couch will not enter. Now she comes in to serve. 13-9, Seaside. Serve from Couch. Student section screams as she delivers, but calm, cool, and collected. No issue for her. Diving to the floor, Janasek gets it to Mallard on the return after playing it off the net. And Taylor led too far into the net. Can't pull it back for Seaside. 13-10. Banks back within 3. Bad time to get hiccups. Booth comes out for Seaside. McCraw will serve straddling the left of the key, low block. Left low block. Dumped over by Seaside. Mallard recovers, slaps it back across. Reyes on the return for Seaside. Bogroff sets up McCraw. Far side to King, too much. 14-10, side out back to Seaside. Seaside in the third set of 2-0. Banks has surpassed their high set total for the evening of 13 each of the first 2 sets. Returned by Banks. Shern to Couch. Shook played it near back corner. Looked like it may have gone out. Janasek on the return. Cross court. Beautiful angle 14-11. Actually, Banks has not surpassed their high set total for the evening. It's Seaside with 14, not the Braves. Janicek will now come out, replaced by Herbert, probably the Braves' best server. Herbert with a step inside the left low block. Bounces the ball high a couple of times. Left-hander delivers to Josephson. Schern. Reyes, the overhand return. Bogroff. McCraw. Maller gets it across the net. Couch. Schern sets up Chen. Able to dig it out. Braves come up with the return from Bogroff off the block out of the back row. Chen on the return. McCraw diving to the floor. Evie pulls it back and gets the return. Chen to Schern, returned by Reyes for the goals. McCraw pulls it back off the far sideline. Bogroff into the back row. Cook pops it up. And then Josephson and Schern look at each other. Can't get there in time in front of the goals bench. Back-to-back points for the Braves, but still trailing 14-12 in the third. Herbert serves it across for the Braves. Chen and Bogroff got a touch, and it's long, 15-12. Side out back to Seaside. Janicek back in, replacing Herbert. Reyes will serve for Seaside. From the right low block. Janicek on the return and lobbed it across the net for the right side of the Seaside offense on the kill. And just like an assist, 16-12. Back to a 4-point lead for Seaside. Reyes extending herself all the way, almost right down the far back corner, and returns it way long, aiming for the opposite corner. 16-13. Bogroff comes out. Evie will serve. Or it's not Evie, it's Maller. Evie is in the match along the front row. The serve from Maller. Reyes and popped it up for the kill from Evie. Again, worked just like an assist the opposite way. 16-14 again, Braves within two. But every time they've gotten that close, they've gave up the serve back to Seaside. Maller. Now from between the blocks. Steps up to the line. Coming up is Chen. Battle at the net. Won by McKenna King against the bigger Kendall Hecox. And the Braves were within one. And now have surpassed their set point total. Actually did last serve. It's now 16-15. Maller again holding serve just inside the left low block this time. Schern to Hecox's far side. And too much for Janicek out of the back row into the bottom of the net. Braves unable to pull it back. And Seaside back to a 2-point lead after the Braves had pulled within one, closest they've been here late as we near the late stages of the third set. Couch comes out. Schern will serve, straddling the left to the key, 1 foot in, 1 foot out at the left low block. Popped up by McCraw. King center to Jansen, returned by the Braves. Reyes smacks it across with one hand. Janicek to Maller, returned by Evie. Reyes, far back corner. Schern sets it up for Hecox, center of the front row. Past the late diving Maller, 18-15. Seaside now with a 3-point lead. And I know it's still early in the season, but right now I would have to say Seaside is likely a playoff team out of the Co-op League. 18-15, again the serve from Schern. Janicek to King. Late, playing it is McCraw on the return. Schern far side sets up Chen. Too much for Maller. It's going to go 2 or 3 rows deep near the west end of the bleachers, 19-15. Banks had pulled within 1, but now 3 straight for Seaside, about to put it away in 3 sets. Churn just left to the left low block. McCraw to King, keeps it in play. Maller on the return, dug out by Reyes. Battle at the net, return by Hecox, no, comes up short. 19-16, Banks within 3, but getting late. And the Braves have yet to win a set, and we're late in the third. Booth. Leanne Booth will serve, coming out McKenna King. There's a couple of exercise warm-ups. Two steps behind the line, dug out by Seaside, dumped over by Evie. Hecox bumps it over wide near the student section. Again, back-to-back points from the Braves to pull within 2 on serve, trailing 19-17. Serve from Booth to Chen, comes up short, but dug out and returned by Hecox. Maller gets it back from McCraw to Reyes for Seaside. Churn sets up Hecox off the block of Evie, 20-17. Seaside with a 3-point lead. Banks has won the 4A state title, our first year broadcasting Banks Athletics back in 2015. Reeves into the game for Josephson for Seaside. Actually, Josephson, not Couch, the smallest player on the team. Josephson for Seaside. Chen's serve. Booth to McCraw, returned out of the back row by Maller, and skips past Chen. Off of her bump attempt, 20-18. Jansen will come out. Shook. Just left of the left low block. Returned by Hecox, dumped over the net. Janicek able to play it, and Booth and McCraw. McCraw plays it late and unable to get anything on it because nobody called it. And side out back to Seaside, back to a 3-point lead at 21-18. Hecox. Step below the left block, steps to the line, and it's long at 21-19. Back to Banks. Bogroff comes in replacing Evie. Ava Bogroff serving for Banks. A lot of players wearing bright pink, darker pink Nike shoes, really bright, really digging the brightness. Not really a pink guy myself, but really standing out. The return from Banks from Seaside off the serve and able to dink it over past or in front of a diving effort from Janicek. Seaside back to a 3-point lead. Banks trading points with Seaside, but unfortunately too late in the third set for that, and already trailing 2-0, down 22-19. And guess who's coming in to serve? And that will lead to a Banks timeout. It's Natalie Couch, who served for 17 straight points earlier in the first set to take Seaside to a 25-13 first set victory. Seaside also won the second, 25-13. We're late in the third. Seagulls 22, Banks 19. We'll take a 30-second break and be back after this from GorgeNet.
There's a new premier fiber internet provider in Vernonia featuring friendly and helpful customer service. Sign up with Gorge Networks today for symmetrical speed fiber internet, 300 meg or 1 gig speeds with managed Wi-Fi included in the low monthly price. No contracts or price increases. Refer a friend and get a free month of service. Make the switch to Gorge Networks today. Call 541-436-0223. You can also email us at sales@gorge.net.
And we're back following the Braves timeout, 22-19. Seaside late in the third set, up 2-0. Natalie Couch, who don't think I've seen anybody be able to serve the ball as strong as her, and one of the smallest players on the court. Far side back corner, Bogroff. McCraw to Shook, returned by the Braves. Shern sets up Reeves, blocked by Maller, and the Braves are finally able to break the serve of Shook. And on the first serve at that, 22-20, side out back for Banks. If they were able to steal any momentum now, would be the perfect time. McCraw just below the left low block. Now on the upper edge, Reyes dumps it, pops it up for Maller, and Seaside dives, unable to play it, 22-21. Banks back within one. A young roster for the Braves, only 3 returning seniors, and 2 of those saw little or no time last season with Marissa Herbert and Ava Bogroff, who was out most of last season with injury. And again, Seaside's unable to come up with the return timeout. Seaside. Banks has come all the way back to tie it at 22. Late in the third set. We'll take a 30-second break and be back after this from Wanna Credit Union.
At Wanna Credit Union, every individual is unique, with different needs, different wants, and different goals. This is who we are. And we live here. Our families live here. Our friends live here. This is our home. Because to us, you're not a number. You're an individual. Wanna Credit Union. Individuals welcome.
And we're back late in the third set, tied at 22 following a Seaside timeout. The Gulls winning the first 2 sets by exact scores of 25-13. Banks with the serve. McCraw. Morgan McCraw, the sophomore setter. Delivers with her right hand low, dug out by Chen. Reyes pulls it back. Chen somehow able to come up with the return. Bogroff, far side. McCraw sets up King, and too much for Chen. Diving to the floor, Banks has a 1-point lead late, 23-22 in the third set. McCraw, Reyes with the dig. Taylor dumps it over. Maller pops it up. The effort from Reyes is underneath the net. From Taylor is underneath the net. Set point for the Braves. 24-22 in the third. Braves with some late momentum, hoping to steal a set victory at least. Skips off the net, but Chen is able to play it. Shern to Reyes. Diving, Janicek keeps it alive down the near sideline. Returned by Bogroff. Reyes to Chern. Sets up Taylor over the top from Maller. Janicek dives. McCraw. Returned by Maller into the back row. Chen. Shern back to Chen out of the back row. Dug out by Bogroff. Nice positioning defensively by the Braves. McCraw, and it's going to be wide by Shook. 24-23. Side out back to Seaside, but still set point in the third for the Braves. Stella Reeves to serve between the blocks. Bogrov coming over late. McCraw. Shook into the back row. Reyes pops it high into the back row. Reeves. Returned by Taylor. A King. McCraw to Janicek. Sets it across. Chen digs it out. Shern. Reyes across. Shook for the Braves near side back corner. Back set McCraw to King. Oh, nice job to come up with the return. And battle at the net is won by Jordan Maller for the set victory. Seaside fans calling for an illegal touch. And they're going to get it. We're tied at 24. Reeves. Shook to McCraw. Sets up Maller. Churn. Couch. Taylor with the kill down the near sideline. 25-24. Seaside now with match point. And we have a timeout, Banks. We'll take a 30-second break. Want to try to get all of our sponsors in at least once. We'll be back after this 30-second break from In Likeness of You.
In Likeness of You offers caricatures, face painting, temporary tattoos, indoor and outdoor games, arcade games, and even costume hero birthday events. Since 2013, they've even held corporate events for some of the biggest companies in the world. For more information or to book your next party, go to inlikenessofyou.com, thebash.com, or call 503-858-0164. That's 503-858-0164.
Late in the third set, possibly late in the match, and based on the score, the match is over. But it was tied at 24. If it's 25-23, oh. Still trying to figure out the score. Now the scoreboard reads 25-24, Seaside. Banks lost the first two sets 25-13. 1-0 in the season after a 5-set victory over Oregon Episcopal of Southwest Portland. Steve Smith near side net official. Still discussing with the scores table. Score now reads 25-24 Seaside. It was tied at 24 when we went to break. Stella Reeves serving for Seaside when we resume play. Football tomorrow night as the Braves host Astoria, September 1st, Labor Day Friday. Banks looking to repeat as 3A District 1 League champions. Two teams from other classifications either moving up or moving down to play at the 3A level. Kennedy of Mount Angel decided they did not want to play 9-man football, which is now what 2A has become. So they moved up to 3A for football only. Last year was in a Salem area school with Dayton Amity and Santiam Christian, and we're set to resume play. 25-24. North Marion dropping down from 4A to 3A. Reeves bouncing the ball between the blocks. Serve is low. Bogrov pops it high. McCraw. Maller racing up to the net. Couch to Shern. McCraw sets up Maller into the net. Popped up. And battle returned by Shook. Seaside fans thought that Banks had 4 hits. Dumped over by Taylor. McCraw returned by Maller, and we're going to get a hitting error on the Braves, a double hit. And a 3-set victory for Seaside. 25-13, 25-13, 26-24. But a very impressive effort from the Lady Braves despite the sweep. Seaside looks to be a 4A playoff team with a 3-set victory tonight over the Banks Braves. But later in that third set, they picked up the intensity, I think, and much better effort in the third set despite the loss. So that'll do it for us. Our final score, once again, Seaside with the three-set sweep, 25-13, 25-13, 26-24. That'll do it for us. Our next broadcast will be right back here tomorrow night, but outside for football as the Banks Braves host the Astoria Fishermen, also a 4A team from the Co-op League. We'll be on the air pregame, 6:30, 6:45, somewhere around there. We hope to have you join us here on WestsidesGreatestHits.com and YouTube. I'm Trevor Beard. Good night, and God bless, and go Braves.